Welcome back to Mega Man X7. No longer are we burning to the ground, which is too bad because now we're in Cyberfield. Alas, we cannot set fire to the internet. Okay, so... today, we've got Snipe Anteater. There he is. He's gonna get ya. So, I've gone over the characters so far, but I've not actually gone over the voice actors yet. No particular reason, I've just had other topics I want to get to, and what better time to do that than the stage I don't particularly like because I find it kind of annoying. So this is one where we've got walls that only certain types of enemies can pass through, and also we're going to have a fun flippy maze later on. If you want to know what that means, well, you'll see in a minute or so. Anyway, that being said, I guess we'll start out with the main characters. X is voiced by Peter Von Gomm, Zero is voiced by Jack Merluzzi, and Axel is voiced by Len Hart. As for the supporting characters, Aya is Rumiko Varnes, and Cygnus is Robert Belgrade. And as for the Mavericks we've seen so far, Ride Borsky is voiced by Ryan Dries. Vanishing Gungaroo is also voiced by Len Hart, so double up there. Wind Crowrang, also a double up, that's Jack Merluzzi. Let's see, I believe after that was Soldier Stone Kong, so that's Walter Roberts. And Flame Hyenard, also voiced by Peter Von Gomm. So yes, you can have a voice actor voicing one character who shouts "Stop it!" after attacking a different character he plays who has not shut up for the past 30 seconds. And as for Snipe Anteater, he's voiced by Jeff Manning. So, it was kind of broad about the cast. I'm not gonna go super in-depth for all of the credits for each voice actor, but I want to do, you know, some general stuff, because this is a cast that feels like it was made specifically for me to look at and go, wait, what the fuck do you mean this person voices this character? So, like, there's a very short period where these voice actors were kind of, like, in Capcom games. So you'll see these voice actors for X7 and Mega Man ZX Advent. Not all of them, but there's a few of them appear in both games. Also, apparently, there is, I'm guessing, a dub of some Ultraman stuff. Ultra Galaxy Fight New Generation Heroes, and Ultra Galaxy Fight The Absolute Conspiracy, which a bunch of these voice actors appear for. But they've also got some really fun, early weird-ass games that they are a part of. So, oh shoot, I believe, was it Len Hart who does voices? No, okay, no. Somebody does voices. Okay, it was Jack Merluzzi who does voices for Michigan Report from Hell. If you don't know that game, it's really a sight to behold. Let's see, what else? Some Shining Force Neo in there as well, which is a Shining Force game I know basically nothing about. Obviously, if we're talking about early 3D weird games, there's definitely some Shenmues in this cast. Rumiko Varnes was actually the voice of Miku Hinasaki, who, if I'm remembering faces correctly, is the main character in Fatal Frame 1. So that's pretty good. Let's see. There's a few I'm saving for last because they're just extremely good. So I'm just kind of trying to roll through all of them, see if there are any weird ones. Oh, right. Jeff Manning. Master Hand in the original Smash Brothers. What the fuck? Let's see, some other ones. I think I'm ready to move on to the end, right? Nah. Oh, Ryan Dries was Ghost 2 and Sonic Night of the Werehog. That is such a weird deep cut. How could I forget? Ryan Dries is also the voice of Michael Wilson from Metal Wolf Chaos. That's right, he is the President of the United States of America. The only good president. Oh god, I can't believe I almost passed that one up. So I think, next one I want to go for... So, there are some voices for Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Few voice actors for that game. Including Robert Belgrade, who voices Alucard. And they also pulled him years later for Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. But yes, he's the fucking reason I cannot use the phrase, "I'm interested in this," without thinking of it in that specific voice. You've cursed me for my entire life, Robert Belgrade. I can't believe you. I mean, I'm fine with it, but also, how dare you? And, so this one isn't, like, the most mind-blowing or anything. This one's just for me, personally. But, Rumiko Varnes is also the voice of Jennifer Simpson in the PS1 Clock Tower. I just saw that one, I'm like, what the fuck do you mean that's Alia? So yes, as I said, a lot of polls that are just like, this is for me to look at in wonder. Like, they've had a so-so amount of work in voice acting, at least. Just judging from these pages, and they've still had some roles even fairly recently, so it's not like they were one and done for this game. Despite the game's reputation, they do still get a decent amount of voice work. But, you know, considering this is not Mega Man X4, and I respect the story, like, less... Like, I like aspects of it. I've gone over things I like about this game's story, but, like, genuinely, the what am I fighting for moment could have been real good, so the fact that it was kinda hammy doesn't work in its favor. Nothing in this game is that serious, so I'm okay with the voice acting being kinda hammy here. It's very fun. And look, I know Burned to the Ground is carved into all of our minds, but, like, that's more on the programmers than it is the voice actors. Look, they just asked Peter Von Gomm to shout for a bit, and he did. It's just, they kinda multiplied the amount of times he'd be shouting. Anyway, I've spoken over the Flippy Maze, but this one sucks. I do not have a head for keeping any sense of direction in this maze. And also, I'm getting a lot of Crazy Gadget vibes from the upside-down sections where, like, it's not technically difficult to control, but just, like, the way the controls work in the upside-down space to me is just something I could not wrap my head around at all. So, I am not fond of this stage. I don't like this one. I'm very glad that, even if I were playing vanilla, these samurai wouldn't quite be a threat here. Because that guy could have easily just passed through the barrier, I couldn't shoot him, and then he could have just stabbed that Reploid to death. But he didn't even stab the Reploid once. Which is good. I'm glad he decided to not choose violence. So yeah, I think we're almost to the end, but... I don't like flippy mazes. If this were a 2D game, this would have just been a, relatively standard teleporter maze. Like with a lot of things, I do have to wonder how the, D-Make handles this one. Because I know the D-Make exists, but I don't know anything about it. I've never really been interested in, pursuing that, as it were.
Oh, so you've come, little one!
Oh god, it's so hard to move with that tail!
Isn't it about time for your retirement?
You're using the word retire a little early there, Axel.
Concentrate on being granted hunter status.
Aw, man! You always were good at figuring people out.
Oh, yes. And of course, I know why you're here too.
You're here to kill Grandpa!
I'm here.
Know thine enemy, is it? You're a real pain, geezer.
Wanting to know stuff about us?
Now, I want you to fight like normal. I need to get good data on you, boy.
I need normal data from you.
I'm no good at holding back, anyway.
No, he said well, I guess that if Axel just goes all out all the time, that is normal, isn't it? Sounds so off when you say it like that, though. Alright, so Snipe Anteater. Unfortunately, we cannot move to the sides of this tube. That is strictly for Snipe here to use for himself. This is not a, 3D you move around a tube fight. It's one of those situations where I wonder if it was supposed to be, but maybe they changed it down the line. Either way, though, this is one of those fights where he's just gonna leave a whole lot of crap around the arena, and you just need to deal with it. He's going to send so many exploding ants your way. They do get kinda hard to avoid. And the missiles, which I'm not good at destroying, they might actually straight up just be a dodge thing. I don't know. I've never had any success in blowing them up with Zero or Axel. And you don't really target them either. Also, what are you doing? You keep smacking me with your tail, which, in fairness, not a bad strategy. But, you could just move around the tube where you would be safe from my advance, but no. He decided to stay here and do his dance. I mean, fair enough. I mean, look, if anything, I'm just glad that he didn't move around the tube constantly. It would have been worse if he just was never available to actually hit. He leaves for short periods of time, and I'm fine with that. Alright, 11 minutes. That's gonna be one of the longer times I get in this game. Cause this stage sucks and I do need to come back to it. For 3 people in a capsule. Alright, so that's a decreased damage. It's not as useful. And this one is just gonna increase Zero's damage. Kinda even for Zero, very power-focused for Axel. Cause honestly, he's already pretty quick. I'm fine with Axel's speed as it is. Alright, well then, again, that is one of the longer stages I'll be doing. The stage itself is pretty short if you know what to do, but... God, I guess I could have practiced the maze more, but... I didn't want to. I didn't like playing that maze. Snipe Anteater himself is alright, I don't mind his boss too much. Weirdly little amount of space to move in that arena, but... get what he's going for, and I respect it, even if I did kinda tank it at the end.
He possesses incredible talent.
So now that we're halfway through the game, instead of Axel Zero conversations, we're getting Red and, the Professor cutscenes. Okay, I was about to say I don't like these as much, but I do like Red just going, I don't actually know how Axel works, it's neat, but like... he's really kind of a freak in nature if you think about it. But yeah, now we're getting flashbacks to what happened to Red Alert before the events of the game. Get to see Red meeting the Professor, and I just find it less interesting. Probably because the Professor is just meh to me in this game. Anyway, that's it. Bye.